All right. Hello. Welcome to episode 7 of the Eioyo series. And our question today is right now, in what ways does geography affect how and where people live? Well, geography affects how and where people live because people need to eat, have shelter, and basically live. Ancient cultures lived near rivers because the land there was often more fertile than other places like dry and dusty plateaus. Second, a house in the Himalayas is kind of hard to live in, so it's kind of hard not to freeze in the cold. And if you're living on an island surrounded by bloodthirsty sharks, you just might not be safe. A constant flood zone or living near a lava flow might be hazardous to your health. Geography, geography affects how and where people live because people need to eat, so they need to be able to procure food in some way. That may mean mining and trading the ore they mine for food. That may mean farming. Second, they need to have shelter. So, a bundle of straw, bunch of wheat on the top of a mountain isn't probably going to be very good. So, geography affects how people live because the crops you grow, um, will be different whether you're on the top of a mountain or down in a fertile valley like wheat country. It'll affect how you live because, well, cold versus warm. Oh, look at that. I'm missing one. It affects how you live because if you were living in, let's say, the Himalayas, you're probably not going to forget to bundle up and get all your heavy clothing on. Now, if you live in the Sahara, you absolutely cannot go anywhere without sunscreen. Yeah, and this is very drastic. This is a very drastic example, but I'm trying to get my point across. Living on in the bottom of this river, if you built a house here, might not be your best bet for survival. So, if your land is suited to growing sunflowers, but not wheat because of the climate it has, it'll affect how you live because you'll grow wheat rather than sunflowers. And wheat can't grow in the mountains very well, not without more work than if you just went down into the valley over yonder. So rather than planting their wheat on the mountains, just like here, can I get a hoe? Did I get a diamond hoe? Why not? And some seeds. So I'm going to put that there, but it's kind of hard to grow without water, huh? Oh, see? It's just like a tiny shred of plant on a cliff. Not gonna grow as well as the crops on the fertile and just like basically better valley. So geography affects how and where people live because people need to eat. They need to be able to like maintain a good body temperature, not too hot, not too cold, and to live. They can't like dying of natural causes. We haven't really figured out how to prevent that yet, but we do know how to prevent dying from being mauled by tigers. what I would suggest is don't live near tigers. So that affects where you live, away from tigers. And let's say these flowers are poisonous. You would live away from these flowers or find some way to safely dispose of them. Like not in your waterway. That's not cool. Do not pollute water. That's just gross. So that affects how you live because you, heck, if you were unpopular, your job might be weed picking. So what I'm trying to say, and I babble in every video, so you should probably be used to this by now, is that geography affects where and how people live because people need to eat, have shelter, and live. So they need food. If their land is suited to growing crop A but not crop B, they're going to grow crop A. They need to have shelter. If they live in a hot, arid climate, they're not going to put on heavy coats. And if there are poisonous flowers around them, they might move or pull them up and dispose of them. That's pretty much simple. Okay. So I have a little text box next to these videos all the time, and it provides basically what I'm saying in a nutshell without all the babbling and such. Oh, look at that, there's sugar cane. Oh, I don't think this is actually in any countries. That's a shame. Yeah, it's outside any countries. So one of the examples is sunflower country. So the sun's somewhere. Can't find the sun. Yeah, I could. Where are the flowers looking? Flowers are looking that way. Still can't see the sun. Who cares? Probably hidden behind that tower or something. So the example in the little text box is that if your land is great at growing sunflowers, which obviously this is, you will probably grow sunflowers and not wheat unless sunflowers grow well with wheat. Because you need to live. It affects where you live. Not on the water, but where the sunflowers grow. And how you live, you probably need to harvest, plant, control sunflowers, otherwise they're no use. You domesticate them. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go back to the council now. Ooh, what is this? This is cool. Oh, it's a little cave. I wonder if it comes out somewhere. Nope. Well, it might, but I'm not going into it. Can't waste time here. Flip it over, and that little cave doesn't go anywhere either. That one, nope. So we'll go through here. Oh, look. Floating blocks. Is it just not loaded? Nope, they're really floating. Just like our floating council room. Where'd it go? Oh, always sneaking off. Okay, we'll go over this way and find it. Okay, so there's Emerald Tower. Feel free to skip ahead if you want to. I really wouldn't feel offended since this is rambling, and where the heck? Oh, it's over that way. I went the total wrong direction. That explains a lot. Yeah, I went that way. It's over here. Okay, sorry guys. Actually, I shouldn't shouldn't be rude. Sorry everyone who's watching. I know lots of people could take that the wrong way. So sorry to everyone who's watching for this brief clip where I got lost in my own world. Alright. So I'm just going to review the sun, our examples that I was talking about. Geography affects how and where people live because people need to eat. So they're going to grow crops that work where they live. so that affects how. And they're going to live where they can grow crops easier than where it's harder, so that affects where they live. They need to have shelter, so they're probably going to live in the mild climate rather than the extremes, hot or cold. That affects where they live and how they live. If they were to live in an extreme, they would be sure to take precautions, such as putting on sunscreen and drinking a lot of water if you live in a hot climate. And third, people need to live. So if you're surrounded by poisonous flowers, it might affect where you live. You probably move away, or it might affect how you live. It's like exterminate them all. And that wraps it up. Thank you for watching episode 7 of the Eioyo series. Hope to see you again in the next video, although I'm not actually seeing you, I am staring at a screen. Anyway, see you next time.